Still More Stories from Grandma's Attic by Arleta Richardson, illustrated by Dora Letter. Chapter 2. It Rhymes with Mop. One day when Grandma and I were eating lunch, my milk glass happened to tip over. Oh dear, Grandma sighed. There goes the tablecloth again. When are you going to learn to keep your mind on what you're doing? I pushed my chair away from the table as she came running with the dishcloth to mop up the milk. I'm sorry, I guess I wasn't looking. No, I guess you weren't, Grandma agreed. You're just like I used to be. You enjoy talking so much that you pay no attention to what you're doing. Someday you're going to do this in someone else's home, and you'll really be embarrassed. I'm always careful when I eat out, I assured her. I never spill things when I'm visiting. I wouldn't be too sure about that, Grandma warned. Habits are not easy to break. Looking around the room while you wave a glass in the air is one of your bad habits. It used to be one of mine, too, she chuckled. It earned me a name I had a hard time living down. Grandma poured me another glass of milk, and while we finished lunch, she told me the story. I think I might have been about 6 years old. I know I had started school and felt quite important about the extent of my knowledge. I was reciting some information I had learned as I helped Ma get breakfast. Actually, my helping consisted of standing first on one side of her and then on the other as she worked at the stove. Finally, she interrupted my story. Excuse me, Mabel, but I can't turn around without stepping on you. Would you please go get the bowl of eggs from the pantry? I skipped off to get them, and Ma called after me. Watch where you're going. The milk pail is right there by... A loud splash assured her that I had found the milk pail. Ma sighed. Did you just kick it this time, or put your foot in it? I just kicked it, I replied in a small voice. But I kicked it all the way over. Ma pushed the ham to the back of the stove and came to the pantry door to survey the mess. Go get the mop, she directed. And try not to poke a hole in the window with the handle. Reuben had come into the kitchen just then, and he couldn't resist a comment. Mop rhymes with slop, he noted. Mabel is a slop tot, if ever I saw one. I'm not, I retorted angrily, and swung the mop around with the intent of connecting it with Reuben's head. Unfortunately, it hit the pitcher of syrup that sat on the table ready for breakfast. Crash! Syrup splattered all over the kitchen floor as the metal pitcher clattered around on the wooden boards. It isn't even 6 o'clock in the morning yet, and I have to mop the kitchen and the pantry. Ma's voice was both angry and sorrowful. I've had days that began better than this. They say if you cry before breakfast, you'll laugh before supper, Reuben offered. Ma gave him a disgusted look. I can do nicely without your words of wisdom, she snapped. Take the pail out to the barn and get more milk, please. And Mabel, you go sit on the porch until breakfast is on the table. But I haven't finished the story I was telling you, I protested. A look from Ma convinced me that the story could wait. I went out and sat on the steps. Soon, Roy came from the barn with a huge grin on his face that I knew meant trouble for me. Hi, Slop Tot, he called cheerfully. I'm not, I cried and prepared to kick Roy as he came up the steps. He dodged my foot and ran into the kitchen, slamming the screen door behind him. Of course, I took off after him, howling at the top of my lungs. Ma stepped in between us. I declare, I'm ready to put everyone back to bed and start the day over. What is the matter now? I'm not a tot slop, I wailed. Make them stop calling me that. Slop tot, Ma corrected me. That means a child who's sloppy. You certainly have a tendency to do that. I'm trying to be better, I assured her. I'm glad you told me I hadn't noticed. And you, Ma said to Roy, find something else to do besides tease your sister. I'd just as soon not hear any more fussing this morning. The boys did let me alone for the rest of that day, but they seldom missed a chance to use my new name when it fitted the occasion. I tried to be careful, but things dropped or tipped or got in my way without my quite knowing how it happened. One day at the table, I reached for something without looking and dumped a cup of coffee onto Pa's plate. He looked at the soggy results with distaste and got up to get a clean plate. "I'm not sure the pigs will even want this," he commented. "Why don't you look in the direction you're moving, Mabel? I hope you never do this when we have company for a meal." "I'm sorry, Pa, I didn't mean to." "You have to mean not to," Ma scolded. "When you're eating, pay attention to what you're doing and leave the daydreaming and chatter until later. Someday you're going to embarrass yourself with someone besides your family." It was not long before that happened. We were invited to the minister's house for dinner. As we prepared to go, Ma folded a dish towel and tucked it into her handbag. "What's that for, Ma?" I asked suspiciously. "It's to tie under your chin." "Ma, you wouldn't make me wear a dish towel at the minister's house." "I would," she replied. "In fact, I'm almost of a mind to take another one to put under your plate." "Oh, Ma," I moaned. "I'd rather be left at home." "I've thought of that too," Ma eyed me sternly. "But you have to learn how to conduct yourself in public someday." "What do you mean?" "I mean sit up like a lady and pay attention to what you're doing. Until you do, we have to take precautions of some kind." "Only a baby wears a bib." "Or little girls who can't keep their food off their front. It's a protection." As it turned out, Ma protected the wrong person. When we arrived for dinner, we learned that the minister's mother was visiting him. For some reason, she took an instant liking to me. As we were sitting down to eat, this kind lady insisted that I sit beside her. Ma was reluctant. "Mabel sometimes needs help cutting her food. Perhaps she'd better—" Ma began. "Oh, that's no bother. I'd be glad to help her." Ma gave me a look that said I'd better keep my mind on my business, and I determined to do so. All seemed to be going well when the worst happened. I was attempting to enter the conversation. In trying to explain the width of something, I flung my arms wide to measure the distance. As usual, I didn't remember that I had something in my hand, a spoon of mashed potatoes and gravy. A glop of mashed potatoes dripping with gravy landed just under the nice lady's chin. With horror, I watched it dribble down into her lap. Poor Ma was ready to slide under the table to get out of sight. The boys choked in an attempt to keep from laughing. As soon as she could speak, the minister's mother assured us that no permanent harm had been done. But I was in disgrace. The journey home was a difficult one. Pa remarked that he hoped I had learned my lesson. Ma replied that she doubted it. The boys declared that they might have expected something like that from a slop-tot like me. I slouched down between Ma and Pa and pretended not to be there. "I think it was a long time before they took me anywhere to eat again," Grandma laughed. "I certainly was a trial to my family while I was growing up." End of chapter 2.